Manny Machado is the most hated player in all of MLB. In summer of 2022, sports betting website betonline.ag conducted a poll to find out the most hated players in baseball. Unsurprisingly, San Diego Padres superstar Manny Machado took first place. Over the course of his career, Machado has developed a reputation as a lazy, selfish, overrated, dirty player who puts his own interests over the success of his team. But is it deserved? MLB struggles at times to market their superstars, but some players become household names just because of the hate they inspire across fan bases. As this poll showed, Manny Machado is more hated than anyone in the game. We'll go through Machado's whole career and look at some of his worst moments and let you decide if he really deserves all of this passionate hate. Manny Machado was drafted 3rd overall in the 2010 MLB draft straight out of high school after only Bryce Harper and Jameson Taillon. He was called up to the show in August 2012. In his second career game, he hit 2 home runs and he hit a 3rd home run the following day. The following season in 2013, Machado broke Ty Cobb's record for the most multi-hit games before the age of 21. This type of phenomenal breakout by a young MLB superstar is usually greeted with enthusiasm by fans all over the country. Ken Griffey Jr., Julio Rodriguez, Fernando Tatis, and others have all won their places in fans' hearts by dominating MLB pitching from a young age. But Machado was different. In June 2013, he was ejected from a game for arguing balls and strikes with a home plate umpire. Okay, that's typical enough. In 2014, however, after being tagged while running to third by Oakland A's Josh Donaldson in what seemed to be a pretty routine play, Machado threw his helmet and got in Donaldson's face, prompting a benches-clearing brawl. 2 days later, Machado's bat struck the A's catcher's glove during the follow-through of his swing and caused the catcher to exit the game with injury. In the 8th inning, Machado threw his bat after 2 pitches nearly hit him. He was ejected from the game and served a suspension of 5 more. Already in his young career, he was developing a reputation as a dirty player and a hothead. In 2016, Machado served a 4-game suspension after he charged the mound. To be fair, he had just been hit in the back by a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, but he was still deemed the one in the wrong for having charged the mound. In 2017, he was accused of another dirty play in which he slid late going into second against the Boston Red Sox, causing Dustin Pedroia to be out with injury for 3 games. He claimed the slide was unintentional, but Red Sox pitchers still targeted Machado for their next several matchups, never hitting him, but nearly hitting him several times. The hatred for Machado really intensified in 2018 after he was traded from Baltimore to the Los Angeles Dodgers at the deadline and made his first deep postseason run. In the NLCS against the Brewers, Machado appeared to intentionally step on the foot of first baseman Jesus Aguilar, after which both benches cleared. Post-game, Brewers star Christian Yelich called it a dirty play by a dirty player, and Machado's status as a dirty player in the minds of baseball fans was fully cemented. Just a few days before that, Machado faced backlash for not running full speed to first base. When he was asked about that in an interview, he delivered the now infamous reply, "I'm not the type of player that's going to be Johnny Hustle and run down the line to slide to first base. That's just not my personality. That's not my cup of tea. That's not who I am." So not only is Machado doing dirty plays and possibly hurting opposing players on purpose, but he's also admitting to being a lazy player. MLB fans from all over rejoiced when Manny Machado struck out to end the 2018 World Series, and Dodger fans were not devastated when the LA front office opted not to re-sign him. He also faced criticism during his free agency for evidently saying he preferred to play shortstop rather than third base, even though all defensive stats and defensive metrics have him as a far better defender at third base than he is at shortstop. So this is another example of Machado being selfish. All of these incidents point to a selfish, dirty player with no class or leadership ability. But in 2019, Machado signed a mega deal with the San Diego Padres, and since then his career has been relatively free of controversy, at least by his standards. He appears to have taken on something of a leadership role in the Padres clubhouse and has been playing some of the best baseball of his career. So is this the redemption arc for Machado? Does he really deserve to still be the most hated player in the game, or should baseball fans move on? Heading into the 2019 season, Manny Machado signed with the Padres for $300 million over 10 years. At the time, the biggest free agent contract in all of American sports. A contract like this opens a player up to one of sports fans' favorite accusations: overrated. Machado was solid, if unremarkable, in his first year with the Padres, hitting 32 homers and bringing in 85 RBIs. In the shortened 2020 season, he finished 3rd in National League MVP voting after having a strong year both offensively and defensively. 2021 was another good year for Machado, though he stayed out of the spotlight for the most part thanks to the emergence of a generational superstar on his team, Fernando Tatis Jr. In September of 2021, Machado made headlines for screaming at Tatis in the dugout after Tatis struck out looking and argued with the home plate umpire. Some considered this another bad look for Machado in a career rife with bad looks, but some considered it growth. He was acting like a leader, getting fired up and trying to teach a younger player a lesson. After the game, Machado said this about the situation. "I've learned things. In Baltimore, I was young. There were guys that were leaders. Now obviously it's different. Guys are looking up to me. I messed up a lot at a young age, but you take that and you try to learn from it." That's an uncharacteristically mature and eloquent take from Machado. It's a far better soundbite than him saying it's not his style to hustle or run full speed to first. He's taking ownership of this Padres team and he wants to win. If you're going to pay a player $300 million, you'd prefer him to have this sort of attitude. So is this Machado's redemption arc? Machado's superstar teammate Fernando Tatis sat out the 2022 season with an injury until a positive test for performance-enhancing drugs earned him a suspension until well into next year. This meant the Padres, a team trying to contend for a World Series and competing in the NL West with the mighty Dodgers, would have to do so without the face of their franchise and their best hitter. So how would Manny respond to this adversity and off-the-field distractions? Manny had a banner year in 2022, hitting 32 homers, driving in 102 runs, and hitting for a slash line of .298, .366, .531, good for an ops of .897. Without Tatis, he led the Padres to their first NLCS appearance in 24 years, eliminating two of the best teams in baseball on their way, the 100-win New York Mets and the seemingly unbeatable 113-win Dodgers, their arch nemesis. Machado homered and doubled off Clayton Kershaw in Game 2 of the series, good for 2 runs, ultimately the difference in their 5-3 victory that evened the series at 1 apiece. Sure, the Padres wound up losing in 5 to the Philadelphia Phillies, but this was a big win for San Diego and Machado and a sign of great things to come for the Padres. Machado placed second in the NL MVP voting, led his team to a chance at the pennant, and looked like a leader during a tough time for the Padres organization. That doesn't erase all his dirty plays and selfish, unprofessional antics, but it sure helps. Machado's 2022 season was worthy of the massive contract he signed heading into 2019, and it ought to end some of the overrated chants for a little while. So what do you think? Is Machado deserving of the title of most hated player in baseball, or does he get too much hate for mistakes he made when he was younger? Can he ever completely redeem himself in the eyes of baseball fans, or is he doomed to disrespect for the rest of his career no matter what?